What's going on, everybody? Welcome. You know what I find funny? I find it funny how people believe that if you always show aggression, that it's a sign of strength. That if you're always the one arguing, if you're always the one fussing and cursing, fighting, and being negative towards others, that's a sign of strength, right? But in fact, a lot of the times, the one who shows the most aggression is actually the weakest. Because usually what happens is they're trying to overcompensate for an insecurity that they're trying to hide. See, people who are confident within themselves and people who are confident in just, their surroundings or in their life don't really spend a lot of time trying to look for reasons to be aggressive. Most of the time, most people don't really want to be aggressive because they just know that it takes too much energy, too much time and effort and money just to feed into the negativity, just to feed into that aggression, right? Because it's so easy to be negative, especially nowadays. People believe that it's a sign of strength. Not really. See, a weak mind can't win. A weak mind can't win. And I mean that across the board. Just because someone is showing aggression does not mean that they're in a position of power. No. Just because someone shows aggression does not mean they actually have the upper hand. Just because someone is showing aggression does not mean that they are the most intelligent person in the conversation. Sometimes the best form of intelligence is knowing when not to speak. Sometimes the best form of intelligence is knowing what you don't know. When you're so sure of the information that you have, even though the information is wrong, you're still wrong. So you can have all the information in the world, and the perception is that you flexing your aggression with your so-called intellect means that you have the upper hand. But a lot of times that's not the case. When you make it a point to be aggressive all of the time, not like to, there are moments that aggression is necessary. There are moments where that is possible to do that, and you be in the right. But most of the times, as you get older, especially with wisdom and knowledge, wisdom, understanding, you realize that there's not really a lot of occasions where being aggressive is the name of the game. Especially when you think that you're superior to someone else because you're the one being aggressive, you're the one being loud, you're the one doing most of the talking. That does not mean that you are the superior in the conversation. That does not mean you are the better person in that situation. Just because you can dominate a conversation does not make you the smartest person. Just because you can overtalk somebody or speak louder than someone does not mean you have won the argument or your points were better. Because you can talk loud and wrong, but you're still wrong. You can talk over someone as much as you want to, but if everything you're saying isn't correct, you still be loud and wrong. What do you say? Wrong and strong. Wrong and strong. You're wrong. You're wrong and you're strong. You're loud. You're wrong, and you just talking forever. But either way, you're still wrong because facts don't care about how loud you are. The truth doesn't care about how long you talk. The truth doesn't care about how aggressive you are towards someone, how negative you are to someone. The truth is the truth regardless of how you feel. And if you're wrong, you're still wrong. So a weak mind will always think they're in a position of power when the other person isn't being as aggressive as you are. If your mind is weak, you will take any form of aggression as a sign of strength. That isn't true. And especially with social media, and you have these trolls and these fake accounts and these fake names and these faceless avatars and all this stuff, and people hide behind those images and feel empowered, feel emboldened to just spout the most vile rhetoric one could imagine. And they think because they're saying the most disgusting things, the most inflammatory things, the most vile things, that makes them the aggressor. That makes them the smarter person in the conversation. That makes them the quote unquote winner in the argument. But the moment you rebut their statements with facts, they have nothing to stand on. Only thing they could do is just spout more hate and spout more just stupidity, to put it bluntly. They were never on the level with you mentally. You knew that, but they didn't know that, and they had nothing to stand on. So in order for them to try to hurt you, would be for them to say the most disgusting things because they actually have no truth to stand on. See, when you stand on truth, when you stand on right knowledge and right wisdom and understanding, you don't have to say much to shut down their entire argument. And once you do that, you will see where their mind is, because they will always respond with more hate and more negativity, which further lets you know that they were never on your level. No matter how loud they spoke, no matter how mean they wrote their messages, they were never on your level. And the quicker you understand that, the quicker that you understand that a weak mind can't win, you can live your life a whole lot easier, because you know they got nothing for you. You know who is really the superior in the interaction. Just because they're loud and aggressive does not make them right. If a person thinks that being loud means that they are aggressive, if a person thinks being loud and aggressive means that they are the better person, that shows more of a weakness on them. It says more about them than it does about you. It shows more of their weakness. It actually shows more of your strength, because strength also means being patient. Patience is a form of strength. Knowing when to speak and when to just let the person, when to let it go, is a form of strength. Compassion is a form of strength. When you know that they are just out of their mind, and instead of you going back and forth with them on their level, you either quote unquote kill them with kindness, or you give them facts that they cannot refute, and you go about your business and let them deal with their insecurities. It shows your strength and their weakness. So what you don't want to do is you never want to have a conversation with an ignorant person. You will always lose because they have more experience. Whatever you have more experience in, you are an expert. So if a person has an experience of being stupid, you cannot beat a person in being stupid. They have more experience than you. So don't fight them on that level. If you want to kill a fish, take them out of the water. Don't go in the water with a shark think you're going to outswim it. No. You take the fish out of the water and they will go away. All right? So I hope you get that message. Weak mind can't win. All right? Catch y'all later. Peace.